You can use this world unique feature practically anywhere. Together we will create an interactive project using Nextmosphere sensors, so you can increase your visibility and attractiveness of your products. If we are talking about interactivity, then it does not have to be only with touchscreen, but in this case with the help of external sensors. Interactive and attractive. Implementation has never been easier, so let's do it. First, as always, we open LAKIOO Creator and import our prepared media into Media Library. I'm going to open the folder with my files, select, and drag and drop my files into Media Library area. Media files are importing. Alright, I go back to the main menu and click New Project. Project name, World Unique Feature. We click OK, and we get into our LAKIOO Creator working environment. At our first page, we will insert background widget by dragging and dropping it from the widgets panel on the left side. On the right, I see the settings and options of this widget. On the left, instead of list of widgets, a media library opened, and here I can search for a file used as a background. Now I will drag and drop from the library to the widget to the canvas. The image was automatically resized to fit the canvas size. I'll switch to widgets and drag and drop the image widget. I stretch the lower part to cover the full width. Again, the media library opens instead of widget, so I select an image and drag it into the image widget area. On the right, in the settings, I expand the transform tab and change the image mode to fill and crop. I drag the prepared element from the file library under the text and adjust its dimension. I will center it. Now double click on the text widget to insert into the canvas. I will adjust its size and position to center. Double click into widget area will allow me to write. Here I will write. I select the text and adjust its font and size. I adjust color to white. And finally, I center text in the middle of the widget. And click on the canvas somewhere outside the borders of the active widget. I will also use the shape widget to make the page more attractive and to show you an example of how you can use it to make your page more attractive. Double click to insert the widget and select from the options circle. I change the color with eyedropper and select exact same yellow. I'll click. Using outline, I can create interesting color combination. However, I will not use the outline this time. Another interesting feature offered by the shape widget is pulsing. I check the checkbox and select pulsing speed. Now, I adjust the position and size of the widget by simply dragging. I copy and paste the shape using these icons. In this way I can copy it multiple times and place it onto the canvas. So this is my homepage. You can preview it by clicking the preview button here. We have shown how easy it is to create page content. So now we can move on to creating other pages, but especially to using world unique feature. We created this feature especially for you, our user, to simplify the usage of external sensors. Let's click on this icon, external sensors. The external sensor environment opened. First, I enable the option to use external sensor. Now, I choose which controller to use. It differs in the number of ports. So, for example, I will keep this model which has 8 ports. Here, instead of widgets, the list of sensors that we will use is displayed. First, click on the plus to insert new page. This project will be an example showing how to work with sensors, so I will add all the pages in advance according to number of sensors I will use. Each page will only display the photo and name of the sensor. Double-click to open this page and get back to editing window you already know. So, just like on the home page, I'll insert a background widget and select background for the page. I'll drag the text widget from the widget and put it here. Double-click to begin writing and write the name of the first sensor. I select and format the text. Now I will adjust the size and position of the text widget. I will create a space for inserting the image of the sensor. This means that I will insert the image widget and adjust its size and position approximately to the center. I already have a media library opened on the left, so I just find the photo of the sensor and drag it into this widget. Now the important thing, I rename the page accordingly. This will help us later, when we will be assigning sensors to the pages. Now, by clicking on this icon again, I get back to display pages with sensors. I will use the content of the first page as a template for the other pages as follows. Right-click on the page and select Copy Page Content. Now I right-click on the second page and select Paste Page Content. The entire content of the first page was copied. I will copy the content of this page to all the other pages and edit them later. Now, double-click to second page, which will be about motion sensor. I will change the name of the page. I will change the title, double-click on the text widget, select the text and replace. Click on the image widget. Drag and drop the correct sensor. Done. Click back to the page structure for sensor. Double-click on the next page, changing the name of the page. Double-click on the text widget. Click on the image and drag to replace. Click back to sensors and pages. Fourth page, double-click, name change, changing the description, double-click, click on the image and drag to replace it with correct image. This icon again. I'll pick another page. I will change the name of the page. I will change the title. And I will also change the image. Great. I have the last page left. I will change the name of the page, title of the page, and replace, or I will add pictures. So now I have the graphical content of the pages completely ready. Now comes the important part. We are going to link the sensors. we have everything beautifully prepared, which in turn will make our next task much easier. We will gradually show different ways of using sensor, but what is the same for all of them is the assignment, which is done very simply by dragging and dropping in the sensor onto the page from which it will be linking based on the sensor. So I'm going to take first present sensor and drag it to the home page, which means that if the home page is displayed and the sensor is activated, the project will display the page that will link to it. We have named the pages, so without hesitation I will choose this page. This sensor can distinguish between multiple distances, and thus I can enter multiple ranges and display different pages based on the person's distance to the sensor. In this case I will leave it like this. I will add the motion sensor to the home page and link it so that it will display page about itself. So that will be the page motion sensor. The motion sensor works based on movement in the area, which can be set to 1 meter, 2.5 meter, 3 meter, or even up to 10 meter from the sensor. I will add another pickup sensor again to home page, from where it will link to pages about pickup sensors. That's why I'm going to assign the pickup sensor page to pickup action. The sensor reacts both to pickup and to put down, but for this case I will not set any pages for the put down action. I'm going to move on the next possible element, which is the push button. On the right, after adding it, I immediately see 4 buttons and not just one, because we are adding the button interface, which buttons connect to. This interface has 4 ports. This means that I can connect up to 32 buttons to one controller that has 8 ports. Now, I will specify the action only for the first button, and that will be the page push button. 4 buttons will also be displayed when assigning a touch button, because this element contains 4 buttons and takes up only one controller port. I also assign a page only for the first touch button. Interesting solutions can be made using an RFID sensor or a tag that looks like a sticker and can be stuck almost anywhere. It just has to be close enough so the antenna can register the tag and display the page you want to. I will assign the sensor to home page. On the right, I see information where I can choose the antenna model and add a tag simply by writing the tag number. Subsequently, I assign the page to be displayed when the tag is registered. Now I have linked all the sensors and we can explore other smart features. First of all, I will draw attention to clarity. When at first look, I can see that all sensors switch only from the home page. The icon of each sensor contains a number. This is the number of controller's port where the sensor is plugged into. Next to sensor's icon, there is a name of the page it links to. However, this is not only way to check it. We can see how the individual sensors are connected to controllers thanks to our world unique connection scheme. This scheme is very useful and user-friendly way for the user that creates the content to check if everything is linked properly, and it's just as useful for the person that will be connecting the sensor in the real world to prevent any faulty connection. The legend is a great counterpart for the scheme. It's detailed description of what sensor links to what page in a very clear way. I will add few more tips. Arrows that are displayed next to page indicate whether page is being linked to or from. Since we have linked all sensors from the home page and not back, all the arrows pointing back to home page aren't active. Since the project is interactive, we can set the time of inactivity, and after this time without interaction, the project will always return to home page on its own after this time. I can show you one more smart feature here. The same sensor can be used on different pages to do different action. For example, I add a push button to this page and here, and I can now link the same button to, for example, link back to home page. The arrows has become highlighted so I can get to this page and from this page. Push button will take me to this page and another press of the button will take me back to home page from this page. One more example. I will add a new page next to pickup sensor. I add sensor to pickup sensor page and link it to this new page. I use the same sensor as from home screen and I can see that sensor is on the same controller port and links to a new page. So I repeat once more, the same sensor can be used multiple times on different pages. How cool is that? We have taught everything that you might need. For each sensor, there is checkbox active on every page. This can only be ticked if the sensor is on the home page and means that the sensor is always active and waiting for interaction regardless of the page that is currently being shown, and will switch to preset page whenever it detects an interaction. It's also indicated in clear way in the page structure. Here it is displayed as active, so it is very clear. As you can see, even a complicated solution can be done in a very simple and intuitive way, not only when creating content, but also when connecting and building it in the real world with the help of connection scheme and legend that are generated automatically by LAKIOO Creator. Everything about using sensors is a lot easier and way more user-friendly. Without technical skills, with the same aim, we also implemented the possibility to create such interactive screen. Interactive, attractive and intuitive. Really unique in the world for interactive and non-interactive digital signage. Professional looking and surprisingly simply to implement. Tell me in the comments where will you use it. Thank you for watching, be visible, be LAKIOO.